All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. As you can see, a new layout, as I've sort of promised a while back, with this Chelsea news crew that we're going to have once a week, Sundays, generally around this time, the 11:30 a.m. UK. And I hope you guys appreciate the new layout. This is going to be the layout moving forward. There is a slight little technical issue with this layout, which you guys will notice down the track. But I will get that sorted for next week. So don't you worry about that. We'll get that sorted. But yeah, thank you to the live chat already. We've got quite a lot of people tuned in. Thank you so much, as always, for supporting the channel. Honestly, without you guys, this channel is nothing. So thank you so much. Smash the like button while you're at it. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. And my panelists, Ameya, Kishan, you're both here. Guys, check out their socials in the description right away. Follow them on Twitter. Ameya's got the YouTube channel as well, and I've got the link there, so please follow that. But first of all, Ameya, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. This is a very interesting topic. Not much happening in terms of Chelsea news this week, isn't it? Just the same news getting recycled. So hopefully this could be an interesting chat. And I'm going to put out some controversial stuff out there. So this is a warning that, don't come for me and don't clip it and take it out of context. This is a fair one.
But I'm pretty sure you're going to have some academy players starting and playing for, challenging for the title, this, that, but I'm going to lose my mind. Honestly, I'm going to lose my mind. Kishan, how you doing?
I'm good as well, Mason. Like Ameya said, it feels like there's been no concrete news, but the amount of times I'm on Twitter typing like Hakimi, Chelsea, and trying to make it happen myself it gets annoying now, and I'm at a point where I'm just like, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it'll be good to get into this team because I'm just so bored of the Euros. It was good watching some of the games, but like overall, just want Chelsea back.
Yeah, man. Look, I mean, the international scene was probably good for the first couple of days, and then I'm like, get the football back.
Even that, I thought it'd be one of them where you could watch every single game, like even when there's two countries that you don't care about. But I've really not even been able to watch like some of the big countries. I'm like, I really can't bother for it.
Yeah, man. Nah, same. Look, I followed Germany. Yesterday, Germany played, but it was an insane time at 2 a.m., so I couldn't even watch it. Kai Havertz had a madness. I woke up and I saw the highlights, so that was good. Look, enough about the Euros. We're not here for the Euros. The live chat is not here for the Euros. We've got Justin here. We've got Claudia here, Frederick, Samuel, Amar. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. What we're going to talk about today is we are going to look at the predicted lineup for next season, Chelsea's predicted lineup for next season, to mount a challenge for the Premier League title. So it's going to be very, very interesting as to how us three, we think about a team that is actually going to hopefully win us the title next season. So let's get straight into this. I'm going to bring up the lineup, the formation builder that I always have. It might just mess things up. I knew it was going to mess things up. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, give me 1 second, guys. Because, yeah, we're going to have to work on this a little bit. So we're going to go back to this. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we will get this started. I think the first point to start off with is straight away the goalkeeper. We'll go with you, Ameya, to talk about this. I think we can all agree, and I'm pretty sure Kishan will agree as well, but we'll get his thoughts down the track. Mendy has to be... He's the number one goalkeeper. Like, easily. I mean, if we're challenging for the title, Mendy is the undoubtedly number one goalkeeper. However, we do need to think about a backup goalkeeper, because what we're going to do here is we're going to think about backups as well. It's not just the starting 11; it's a squad that we're going to think about. I don't know whether Kepa is going to stay with us, and Caballero is already leaving. So this is a bit of a question mark. Like, we're not even linked with anyone. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, have you got any particular ideas as to who you might want, or are we linked with anyone that you saw? What's your thoughts?
I think one name that I've been saying a lot of times is Sergio Romero, who's recently been let go by Manchester United. I think he
Yes.
would be a pretty good backup for free as well. Another one is Alphonse Areola. I think he was on loan at Fulham last season, and PSG they've just given Keylor Navas a huge contract extension, and they're also pretty close to signing Donnarumma. It seems. I think Fabrizio Romano basically said.
I thought it was done. Donnarumma was done, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not official yet, but I think it's more or less done. So they've got two top goalkeepers there. So I don't see them keeping Areola this season. So we could put in, a cheeky bid, and probably around 10 million, 20 million tops could get us a pretty good backup goalkeeper. So those are my two options, which I've got in mind.
Kishan, what's your thoughts, man? Mendy obviously starts for you as well, but besides that, Kepa, you keeping Kepa?
I'm not keeping Kepa for sure, but I think the two that Ameya said are very I definitely take them, but I can't see Kepa moving on. That's the problem. I'd want him to move on or even take a loan, but
apparently Sarri might want him at Lazio.
I read that, but I'm not sure I buy into it. I'm not sure I buy into the Ruben Loftus-Cheek thing with him. That I can see a bit more than Kepa. Kepa, I feel like that link has just come with because he was his manager and he was there when he came in and he was somewhat playing well.
Yeah,
I can't see him going anywhere. So I think Kepa will actually be our number 2. And then when Mendy goes to the African Cup of Nations, we're gonna have to stick him in, and that's the annoying thing.
I just don't want to get into the whole mess of League Cup keeper, domestic keeper. Like that mess needs to go, man. Like, I mean, I know he's got African Cup Nations, Mendy. Man, do we have any academy? Get Amir, get me an academy goalkeeper here, bro. Give me an academy, bro.
Ziga,
probably. Yeah, Ziga coming, one of those two.
Live chat, what's your thoughts? I want to see what the live chat has to say. Let us know who your thoughts are for a backup goalkeeper.
With this team, are we going for who we want or who we think? Because if it's who we want, I'd go with Ameya's choices, definitely. But who I actually think, I don't see Kepa moving on. His wages and stuff, I just can't see it.
I think we should go with a mixture of think and like. So
realistically,
we can't just say, okay, let's get, I don't know, Edison from Man City to be the backup. That's never going to happen.
And I'd say not speculative. It should be players that we have actually been linked with as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I'd say as well.
Ameya, with the keeper situation though, with the two you said, do you still see Kepa staying as well?
Yeah.
Actually, I do. You know what? I think he is going to stay. But I mean, when you look at the wage structure and all of that, I think the only way Kepa leaves is if we agree to partially cover his wages, like what United did with Alexis Sanchez. But I don't know. Let's see how it goes.
The crazy part is, first of all, it's 2-1. Both of you guys have gone for Kepa, so it doesn't really matter what I have to say now. But I think you guys are right because we're not really linked with the keeper, so we can only talk with what we know. So we're not really linked with the backup keeper. So far what we know is Kepa staying. That's what we know. So
we're putting a third one in, Miz, or not? We're putting a third choice. Or...
I say we just do 2. I think once we start going third, that just becomes too deep. I'll go with this one. This is my bad boy. He's been killing it for Germany as well.
Who's that?
Rudui. For me, Rudy has to be one of them for sure. Is there any dispute here, boys? Go with you, Kishan.
No, you can't really have it. The only thing is with him is the whole contract talk that he's running down his contract and you're not too sure with what's happening. But I think regardless, we're going to play him this season and he's just going to be first choice. I've not been that convinced with him in the Euros. I don't know if Ameya, you might have seen it yesterday, but in the Euros he looks overly aggressive, like what he did with Pogba in the first game. I'm so glad that he didn't go to those levels in our Champions League because I always feel like he has the potential to do that with him. He's that edgy character, but he's been brilliantly on the borderline with us when he's got into those tussles with Suarez and stuff. But I think with Germany, there's no one to quite tell him, oh, stay in line. I feel like Tuchel was good at that to get him that aggressiveness, which is like an asset of his. But with Germany, it feels like he's going too much on that side where he's like someone will kick the ball away and like 2 seconds later you'll see him barging into him. Like Pogba when he did that outside of the
he's
foot
biting
pass
as well.
yeah, Pogba does that outside of the foot pass to Hernandez, and you can just see 2 seconds later Rudiger pushing into him, and it's just a bit too much. It's like concentrate fully and try and like coach that out of him. But for us, if we're looking at what he's done for us, especially at the end of the season, he has to be there, and that position suits him.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're probably agreeing as well. I mean, I'll go to you. Who is the backup for this side?
That's a very interesting question. I think it depends on whether we keep Zuma this season or not, because honestly, I think Zuma was probably the backup for Rudiger there as well. Emerson could end up being a backup as well. I think he came on a couple of times and we could see him playing that left centre back role instead of the left wing back role, and especially under Tuchel. So I'd go with Zuma, honestly, if we don't get rid of him, because I can't see us signing another centre back, especially if we get the Hakimi and the striker deal over the line. Then I can't see us going.
Are you going to entertain the Sergio Ramos, the hype that the Chelsea fan base is so mad about at the moment? I mean, first of all, can he play a back three?
Yeah, I think he can. But personally, I mean, I would take him, of course, 100%. He's like one of the best defenders of the decade, right? Without a shadow of doubt. But at this moment in time, I'm not quite sure. I if we could, then I'd be more, sort of tempting the deal looking at Varane. But I mean, honestly, if we're not going to go for it, then I don't think we're going to get Ramos. I'm pretty sure he's going to go to PSG. I think that's just my intuition telling me. There's been no official links or anything, but that's just my intuition. I think I'll go with Zuma for this one. If you want a left field shout, I could say Ethan Ampadu, but I don't think he's going to stay. And you guys will probably kick me off the channel.
Nah, bro, I don't think it. Look, man, just about Ethan Ampadu, like I said the other day, last week to both of you guys, and I'll ask Kishan as well this. Yeah. I mean, he's had 2 loan deals, right? He's had a loan at Leipzig. He's had a loan at Sheffield United. I know it didn't work out, but I don't see how we look at that and go, okay, well, now you get to start for Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, I don't see
a sub player, right? A sub player. I'm not saying like throwing him into the starting lineup.
Rudiger is the first choice.
Yeah.
True. Okay, all right.
I think another
Kishan,
thing,
what's your thoughts?
Another thing, Ameya, is I think he is right-footed. I'm pretty sure he's not a lefty.
Yeah, he is right-footed. Yeah, but I mean, so is Rudiger, and he does the job as well. I think Ampadu played left centre back at Sheffield United last season a couple of times, which is why.
Anyone entertaining this one?
We saw how that ended, Ameya. It's weird.
I think he needs another loan personally. If I could just say, I think he needs another loan in the Premier League before stepping up to Chelsea.
I think
fair
so
enough.
Too, yeah.
Kishan, I mean, what are we locking here, man? What are we locking up here?
You're probably like locking Zuma. See, Zuma is another one where like he's been linked with a move, but similar to Kepa, I just can't see him going. Like I can't see someone dishing out the money. I can see like if he was in the 20 to 25 range, but I think we'd want like 30 million for Zuma. And
the thing is,
it's not to say he's not worth it. Yeah,
there's no links
it's just
either, Kishan.
It's more speculation from our side because we're linked to another centre back, and we might say, "Oh, but we have to get rid of another one." But for now, I think it's just going to have to be Zuma, really.
I'll say you guys are right, man. I'll say you guys are right. Undoubtedly, Thiago Silva.
Easiest one, and then even the backup one's the easy choice.
Is easy. Yeah. It'd have to be Andreas Christensen, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we can safely move on from this one. I think that's the most safest one there. We probably have some arguments here.
This is going to be where it gets like.
This is where it gets very dangerous. This is where we're going to have some speculations. This is where we're going to lean onto some transfer news business. For me, boys, it's Reece James. That's how I'm looking at next season or else I really don't understand why Thomas Tuchel would be interested in the transfer market for a right wing back. It makes me feel like that he's not utterly convinced as yet with Reece James in that particular role, because Reece, let's face it, when he's playing he's not driving forward all the time. It's like it's like it's not natural to him. He needs to be forced to do this. However, defensively, he's very astute. And I think from this position, he can be very dangerous. Next season, if we evolve and start playing overlapping, CBs, he can even come somewhere here and whip in the crosses as well. So for me, boys, it's Reece James. Kishan, who's your man over here?
See, I want to say Reece James because of that exact reason that we need a wing back, and you did excellently moving player 2 along the wing, Miz. But the part of me that makes that seem a bit like it's a bit too soon is at the end of the season when we put Reece there and we put Aspi on the other side as a right wing back. It's just there was something that it needs a lot more time than we're going to give him. And I don't think Aspi is like ready to give up his spot there because he's so good defensively.
Wow. So you reckon Aspi one more season there?
I think if you're telling me who starts in that position in our first game, I would probably say it is Aspi because he's still the captain. You got to remember that as well. And I still think he's got more in the tank in that role. If you were talking about a right back, then restarts all day. But defensively, Aspi, I still think Aspi has enough in him to do a season.
Interesting. That's very interesting. I mean, Ameya, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Kishan has a point there. I think at least in the beginning of the season, I think we'll probably see Azpilicueta. I can't see him just being, cast out of the squad entirely just yet. I think the process has to be, slowly phasing him out, which is what Tuchel will probably be thinking of as well. So I think Azpilicueta probably earlier in the season, but then like once we reach the halfway and the latter stages of the season, I think it's definitely going to be Reece James there. So right, I don't know who you can put there. Honestly,
are we happy to do this then?
See, this is the thing that Ameya like.
I mean, can we have a vote? Let's just have a vote. Who gets the top spot and who gets the sub spot?
I would go for that. And then the thing is with Reece James, though, the right wing back position, he'll also be in there. And similar to, I think Christensen's the one that obviously he's playing underneath Thiago Silva, but Christensen can also go to that side as well, like where we're talking. Yeah.
Something like that. I have to agree. The only thing is, I'm thinking about a Premier League title challenging first team and then backups. I just feel Aspi next season. I get your point, Kishan, day one, but the challenge is not for day one. Do you know what I mean? It's for.
I'm the problem is like when you think title challenge, I think Aspi because he's like that, been there, done that guy, and it's not. I think he gets too much of that, been there, done that. He's a class defender as well. I don't think, because how good everyone else was and how much they improved players like Rudiger, I don't think people gave Aspi enough credit for how good he actually was. I know there were some games where, like against Atletico, that back pass and stuff like that, I don't know what he was doing there. But when it comes to like the final and stuff like that, he was just immense. You look at that cross that came into the box, and who's there to clear it is Aspi, and it's all like he's one step ahead in defense. So,
do you reckon he'll still have the hunger to carry on next season?
For sure.
For sure.
If that's one thing I don't think we can question him on. Like you can probably question his physical ability as he gets older, but I think in the head, like what he's given to us for like the past 9 years, I don't think we can question that he won't be there in that sort of. Like
Ameya?
Wanting it.
You lock in Aspi as well?
I would agree to what he's saying, but I want to give you the deciding vote. You know what? I'm going to put Reece James as the starter. We'll see who Miz ends up putting out there.
Oh, that's dirty, bro. You did the dirty on me. Kishan puts a compelling argument. He really does. Exactly. Because club captain. Oh man,
Tuchel loves him. Tuchel loves the guy as well, Miss. He literally loves it.
Kishan, you know what, boys, honestly, you know what screwed me up? You know what screwed me up? The whole Hakimi news has screwed me up because all this week I'm thinking Hakimi was coming. So I would have had Hakimi as my right wing back, and then I would have had Reece James because I thought that was, that's a title winning combination. But now the whole Hakimi news is up in the air. I'm like, well, I got to trust my boy Aspi in the right centre back. And maybe have Reece James in the right wing back now. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to assume that Hakimi doesn't happen, which is such a sad news for me. Honestly, it's breaking my heart to say this. I'm going to assume that Hakimi doesn't happen. And I'm going to go with Aspie and obviously Reece James and Andres Christensen as the backup. And we are very, very much linked with the right wing back. Whether we like it or not, if it's not Hakimi, I think we're going to have to accept the fact that it'll be Adama Traore. It will. Someone's coming because Thomas Tuchel wants someone. So we need to, as we said from the start of the show, it's got to be realistic and it's got to be also something that we want, but news-based, what's been linked, right? So we know there's going to be a right wing back. Boys, I'm going to drop a bombshell here and I'll go to you, Ameya, first. If Adama Traore comes in, he doesn't start for me. It's either going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi or Reece James that should get the shout, and then Adama is actually the backup. So my preference, honestly, if I'm going for a title-winning combination, I'm going with Reece James as my starter, and then this is what I would do as backups. I'd have Adama and Joe. Ameya, your thoughts?
Fair enough. I think that's fair enough. I think Reece James is definitely a better player. I think as a right wing back, he's definitely more complete. He crosses a lot more. And I mean, this is weird because Reece James
I love this comment. Nah, assume Hakimi is coming.
I mean, that's what gets people gassed, isn't it?
We will do another alternative lineup where Hakimi is coming. So don't worry about that, Callum. Thank you so much. But yeah, go on, Amir.
Yeah, I think the best part about discussing the new lineups is including these new transfers, the new players that we're linked with. That's what makes the lineups, more, I don't know, more. That's what excites you, doesn't it? Like when you say the title challenging squad, and then if you see the same squad from last season, you're going to be like, you know what, it's the same squad that we had last season. But then when you see the new signings included there, that's when you're like, you know what, we're serious, we're going for it. But yeah, that's a great comment there. We'll include him in a later lineup probably. But I think Livramento is an excellent shout, and but I don't know.
I think the Livramento one, Ameya. I think the Livramento one is if we actually don't even get Adama Traore.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that would be probably our last resort. But I think Livramento needs another loan as well before he can come into the first team and see how he does out on loan. But I think I'd agree with that. I think Reece James and Adama and Hudson-Odoi. Another name that I would just like to throw into the mix, we're not linked with at all, is Dumfries.
Here we go.
Dumfries from PSV. I think he had a pretty good game. I'm nowhere not going to sign him, but just. I don't know.
It's a lot of hype on him. There really is a lot of hype on him. I mean,
yeah, I know he's sort of like the right wing Alonso. I don't know, but I think, but that's just another name that I could see us being linked to. I mean, I'm not saying it would actually be legit, but it could be a name that we could probably be linked to in the next couple of days, especially if the Hakimi deal doesn't go through for us. Because Adama, I'm just not convinced. I don't know. I think he's that saucy player, but he just has no end product, and he does all the dribbles, and it leads to nowhere. And I don't want such a player, honestly.
Don't say that. Kishan actually wants it. Kishan's laughing now. Kishan, underneath, he likes Adama Traore. Don't you lie to me, Kishan. Talk to me.
It's an interesting prospect. Like, doesn't part of you want to see how Adama would be at Chelsea?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Bro, maybe in a dream. I don't know.
Miss, the thing is, with that team that you put out, so you put Reece James in as the first choice right wing back. But then that problem that you were alluding to first of going staying there was solved in that. So and I know you're saying Adama is the bench warmer, but I'm not too sure because it looks like if Tuchel thinks that's a problem, I think in some of these matches where we come up against low blocks, and the majority of times we probably play 14 or 15 teams that come out with low blocks. So I feel like Adama would start a lot, or whoever that sort of right wing back that we sign is. It could be Hakimi, could be Adama. Will actually play quite a lot, and that's another thing with the Reece James thing. So I do think Reece with Aspie as that right centre back is going to be an interesting one to see who comes, because you got to remember Tuchel said that he thinks Aspie is more adventurous than Reece James when he puts him at wing back. So it suggests that he does think that this is a real problem as well. So then it's just like Reece's long-term position is questioned. But then we might get into a lineup where we play 4 at the back, and then he's like the certain starter. So
I don't think four at the back. 4 at the back, I'm pretty certain that's probably not going to be a shout at the moment. I do like, once again, bro. If we don't get a wing back, I think he'll still maintain this, and maybe he tries to get the best out of Reece James next season.
But this is the thing, Miz, like, you know, when you have like this team and you maintain the exact team, the whole thing with us is that we were playing kind of with like a handbrake up. I want us to completely let go. And like, when you look at the kind of attacking players we've got, there's no reason why we shouldn't be putting 3s, 4s, and 5s past teams. Like, and we only really did like score more than 2 once, and that was against Crystal Palace that was how I want us to play. Like, that was probably the best I've seen us play. And funnily enough, that had Hudson-Odoi as the right wing back.
Yeah.
I just want to read some of these comments. Some of these comments are actually quite interesting. I want to bring up this one from Frederick, see what the guys have to say as well. Right wing back shouldn't be the priority. We need to get a striker and possibly a DM first, then we can bring in a right wing back. I mean, look, 100% striker. We will get to the striker situation. DM, obviously, we'll talk about it very soon. I think the right side is an issue. Like, as Kishan and Ameya is saying, you take away Adama, and literally you're left with Reece James, Cho, or Aspie. Like, it's just that's not a title-winning combination on the right. Do you know what I mean? Like, that ain't going to win us the title. I know we can say that, well, the title doesn't have to hinge on just on that particular position. Once we get ourselves a striker, I mean, that should be enough. I get that. I really do. But if you want completeness in a team, I just don't get that completeness. As the lads have said, you know, Tuchel has said Aspie shows a lot more adventure going forward from this position as opposed to as opposed to Reece James. But you know what, boys? Can I just make a quick adjustment, if that's okay?
Sure.
I would actually have this. Because, you know, we're being realistic that as the live chat is saying, whether you like, as I've said, whether you like it or not, it's either Hakimi or it's Adama Traore. It's gonna happen. It's one of them is happening because we want something over there. I would actually have it in this manner, guys. I mean, would you agree? For a title challenge.
I would agree, but probably not every single game, because you look at that right-hand side and then I know Reece can defend really well, but there's something else that I don't know. Aspie feels like he's gone to the school of defending, that guy. It's like when he's playing against certain teams, you'd really want him there. But I do get what you mean with, like, if you're not going to play Reece at right wing back, he kind of has to be, the right centre back, because he's seen as a long term.
Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
when we had the previous version, so we had Aspie there and Reece James there, and you said this thing where if a lot of people think if we sign the striker, then that's that, like, all of our problems go away. I actually think with the whole like chance creation metrics and stuff, we're not as, like, the kind of chances we create, they're not as clear cut as what people think. I think because earlier Werner was missing absolute sitters, that people think we create a lot better chances than we do. Like City, if you look at De Bruyne and he puts it on a ball across the face of the goal for someone to tap in, we need someone like that. And that's why I say Hakimi is so important, because you look at some of what he did for Lukaku and some of the chances he gave Lukaku, they're absolute ones that you can't miss. Whereas on the plate, this is the reason we need a world-class striker, Miz, is because we create too many half chances. And if you have someone really efficient at scoring half chances, it'll make us look completely better. But I still think we need that creator that puts in those balls where it's like impossible to miss, and the striker just gets an absolute hatful. And that's why I need Hakimi in this team.
I agree, and this is what I've been dying. Like, a lot of people say that, we don't need Hakimi. It's not a necessity. I feel like that right side needs a bit of upgrading, man. Like, that's my thought, as what you said, Kishan. I mean, Ameya, are you going to be okay if we don't get either Hakimi or Adama Traore? Are you okay with that situation?
I mean, Personally, emotionally, yes, but as what Tuchel is saying, I think he definitely wants an upgrade there, and I think it's not been a secret, right? I think so many journalists, I think Matt Law, when he did a podcast a while back,
This
he
here,
mentioned,
Ameya, this here
yeah,
is important because it's
yeah,
linked.
exactly. Yep. So I think that especially if you want to play the system, and as we get forward, and I know who we think are going to be the two, next to the striker, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be any of our wingers. It's most probably going to be Mount and Havertz who we're going to put there, and I just don't see them, creating as many chances as we would like solely depending on them. So we need those fullbacks who are going to create those high volume of chances, and Chilwell definitely does that. Especially, he was out of the squad, and Alonso was initially, preferred over him when Tuchel came in. But then the way Chilwell has bounced back has been incredible, and he's honestly been excellent in that. He creates so many chances, he drives forward as well. So I think we need a player like Chilwell on the right as well. Definitely we do. I think I'd have to agree that we probably need a reinforcement. And all these days I always thought that we would probably shift to four at the back, but now I'm thinking, you know what, looking at the players that we're linked to, I think we're going to continue with this system next season as well, which is why I would see that as more of a priority, which is also why I don't think we've fumbled the Hakimi deal just yet. I think there's still a little bit more to it, honestly.
That's why I've just added that in, man.
Amir,
That's why I've just added that in.
One more thing is, I know this whole 3 or 4 thing, but when you've got someone like Adama or Hakimi in that right wing back, it actually makes it seem like you still got 4 attacking players on the pitch.
Yeah,
whereas when you've got Reece James, it's like your back sort of block, and then your front 3 players just do what you want. Whereas Hakimi is that guy that like link it up more, where he's gonna go. He's a flyer, and it's like you see him as an attacker. When we're getting Hakimi, I actually see it as we're getting an attacker who's gonna get us assists and goals, not someone who's gonna defend. And I like that. Like, that's more exciting to me.
Yeah, man, 100%. Callum is Callum does not want anything to do with Adama Traore. He wants to get that person out of there. Callum, look, I'm just basically keeping him because I don't know whether Hakimi is 100%. That's why I've just added Hakimi in. I think at the moment we have to keep Adama in there just in case Hakimi doesn't work out. That's the only reason. Taha Deb, that's funny. Just logged in with Adama doing that.
With the whole Cho thing as well, I like, in terms of the wing backs this season, he's been my favorite wing back that we played, and it's because he gets up and he crosses.
You liked him.
I don't know where it really went wrong for the guy, but I guess like with Tuchel, he's watched him like over that time. And the weird thing is, when Tuchel came in, he was playing him a lot, but as time went on, it went downward. That trend.
You know where it went wrong? I'll tell you where where it went wrong? Against the bigger clubs. Because he felt Callum probably didn't track back quick enough, didn't know his positioning, went from building up. He didn't know exactly how to build up with the guys, the 3 at the back. Because I don't know if you guys remember, Ryan, he does it perfectly because he goes, it becomes like a diamond. Do you know what I mean? It becomes like a diamond here. And sort of like that. Right? So you need to know your passing sequence from this side to build up. So he was sort of saying someone like Callum is probably not. That's why we ended up seeing Aspie, because he understood that passing sequence better than anyone. Do you know what I mean? So that could be one thing where he wasn't always in sync with the tactical side of things, but that's all I can think. But against the weaker teams, Callum knew exactly what to do. Maybe against the bigger teams, just the pressure was just a bit too much. And
that's why I think, like, fine, if you don't put Cho there, put someone who's gonna fly at their wing, like their left back, and do something. And that's why, like, I really don't understand when people say we don't need Hakimi, but then we don't need anyone. It's like, anyone who elevates your team and is the best in their position, why won't you get them?
100% agreed, man. 100% agreed. All right, man, wow. I knew there was going to be a big discussion on that side, and that's exactly what we had. I'll let the live chat decide what they want to do on that right side. But for the time being, this is what it is. We're going with Reece James, but then we've got Aspie and AC as the backup. Obviously, this may not be every single game, but we're just setting up like what is the title winning combination. Then we're going with Adama Traore or Hakimi. either one of them, whoever gets bought in, will start, and then you've got the backup of RJ and Calamus Doi. All right, left side, I think we can safely say Chilwell has earned his spot as the starter, and he will be very crucial for the title challenge. Who is the backup here? I'll go to you, Kishan, because I'm not sure who the backup is anymore.
You know, when we had the whole situation,
this is probably another reason. This is probably another reason why why we want Hakimi, because he can play both sides.
Yeah, although when like you look at what's been said, it's like clear that Tuchel sees the right side of the problem. So I don't think he would get that much time on the left. But when we were linked with Hakimi and the kind of bid that was going in, it was always 60 million plus Emerson or plus Alonso. The plus Alonso thing made me, I don't know, I feel like if a good bid came in, he has to go.
Yeah.
But when we're getting Hakimi, can't you just see Hakimi creating so many chances and then, Haaland has missed it by this inch. And then Alonso's at the back post and he taps in. I could just see this kind of situation arising.
Did you just do a commentary? It sounded like you did a commentary. Hakimi's just missed by, and then Alonso on the back post just taps it in.
But can't you see, like Alonso, the amount, even the win against Man City, he's such a unique player that he'll make you want to pull your hair out defensively, and then he'll go on the other side and do something like that. And if we're this open, expansive team, if a chance falls to someone in the box in our team, I want it to be Marcus Alonso. And that says everything about it right now. So I think a lot of the Alonso deal depends on Hakimi, because I think if we're getting Hakimi, we won't do cash only, and it will be Alonso that they seem to want, where a lot of the links say Inzaghi. So if you think we're getting Hakimi, I think that rules out Alonso completely. And the backup would then have to be Emerson unless we sell him and get someone else. But for now, I'd say Alonso, because like I said, I don't think Hakimi is happening at this moment in time.
I get your logic. Ameya, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Kishan summed it up perfectly. I think the deal for Hakimi seems to be 60 million plus Alonso. That's what every reliable Italian reporter has been reporting. So if that goes over the line, then I think that puts a little bit of a problem, because I don't think Tuchel sees Emerson as a left wing back. I mean, he played as a right winger once and once as a left centre back, I think, when he came off the bench. So he really doesn't see Emerson as a left wing back. So I think we could look into the market, but once again, I wouldn't want us to splash too much. You know, I could see some comments earlier saying Gozens and stuff like that, but I don't think Atlanta are going to sell him for cheap at all. It's going to be like 30-40 million easily. So it would have to be
not coming to Chelsea to be a backup, bro. Gozens not coming for a backup job.
Exactly. So I think that we would probably have to look at cheaper alternatives, maybe in the Premier League, maybe free agents, maybe Livramento as well could be an off-field shout, but I don't know. I don't know.
Can Livramento play that side?
Yeah, he's played both sides as a wing back. He's right-footed, but he's played as a right wing back and as a left wing back for academy games. So I don't know how to sees him.
But yeah, Miss, when you look at Tino Livramento, when you look at the kind of bit around him and how he's actually played in the academy, I don't think he's just one of these other kids. Like, you know, when you're in the academy and you see like Ampadu or Conor Gallagher and you think, when can you actually make it with this? I really don't think Livramento is like that. Like, he definitely can make it. So,
bro, many are saying he will make it. Many are saying
he will. And you know what? Honestly,
so good.
Yeah, he provides that expansiveness which a wing back has to provide.
Exactly.
He runs forward, and he is. I mean, he's played as a winger at times for the academy when we don't have wingers available. That's how good of a wing back he is, and he tracks back as well.
He's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Let's put him in the squad. Livramento, and he can be on both sides. He can be on the left side. He can be on the right side. You know, why not? Why not?
It's not completely like out of the question, because he did make a few squads towards the end of the season, didn't he, Ameya, as well? Yeah. So like, I don't think it's completely out of the question. And I think the other side to him is like with his contract running down, I think the club will be keen to tie him up. So you do have to kind of feed him a few minutes here and there as well. So that'll be quite interesting to see.
Someone's saying Kennedy. I've completely forgotten about this player. Is this guy still a Chelsea player?
I thought about this as well. Kennedy for left wing back. I was thinking about it as well. I thought he's that expansive kind of player, but I think if we get a bid of about 8 to 10 million from Spain,
bro,
I think Valencia were looking at him, and he's been doing well there. So
he's at Getafe now at the moment.
Getafe, yeah, he was there, yeah.
Yeah, so look, I don't think this is going to happen, but a good shout.
Granada.
Oh, Granada, yeah. Look, we're going to put in Livramento. I think a lot of people want him in. Let's put him in, and he can be on both sides anyway. So I think that's it's a win-win situation, to be honest. I mean, Chilwell will be the number one pick, and the odd game here and there, Livramento can chip in. And then I'm sure even Adama Traore could. The thing about wingback is you can literally just play on each side. Really.
I really wanted to see Cho as a left wing back at a certain point as well, because I thought that when he's in there, his inside foot and he's running at defenders. That's always something that could.
100% agree. He could cut in. Do you know what I mean? He could cut in. So look, that could be an option as well, man. Maybe we should just add that. I mean, we've never seen it. See, that's the thing.
Yeah, we won't. I think it's you have to add an Emerson or a Alonso, because Emerson, if we're saying Alonso will go, Emerson will still remain, I think. No?
I think he's going to go as well.
You think both will go?
Yeah, because how these guys going to... Look, Emerson seems like literally 0 minutes, man, under Thomas Tuchel. He's seen some minutes here and there. Atletico Madrid, he scored a goal straight off, like his first touch. I don't know how he can just sit around for another season and do nothing. He's gonna push for an exit. Alonso, he's done everything. I mean, the man has won a Premier League, FA Cup, Europa, Champions League. He's done everything at Chelsea. So, you might as well now make a move. And as you guys said, if Hakimi is happening, then Alonso. I mean, okay, let's have a quick vote. Ameya, do you think both of them are going, Emerson and Alonso?
If the Hakimi deal materializes, then yes. If not, then I think Alonso will stay. I don't think any other team's probably going to push for Alonso.
Right. So then we're pretty much saying that Alonso, I mean, if that's what... Because what we're saying here is that Hakimi probably won't happen.
Yeah, so then Alonso stays, right? Because it's hard to... He's another one in that Kepa Zuma kind of thing where you can't see him moving on if it's not in a deal.
Yeah, man. How do we get rid of some of these players? We have to... he would go above Livramento. Yeah. Okay.
So I'd stick him.
I'll go here, Livramento and Alonso. Cool. All right, man. This is turning out to be. Let's see where this team goes.
This is Miz's favorite part of the pitch.
This is my favorite part of the pitch, man. I don't think we can argue that. This combination has to be the first combination. I can't. I'm not going to take any arguments here, because if anyone says Jorginho is not going to start, you are having a day off. That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have a day off. Kante will be there. Boys, I'm going to let you have the backups. I'll go with Kishan first.
I want to see. Can we go to Ameya first, even about the starting line, like Jorginho and Kante? I want to see what he says about it. Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I agree. I think Jorginho, with the three at the back system, I think Jorginho and Kante probably has to be our starting lineup. So, I was thinking of a DM, especially Rice. We've had so much extensive discussions about Declan Rice coming in. But if we do sign him, then playing him when we're already playing with three at the back, adding Declan Rice there, I don't see how it would make sense, in all honesty. I think the most important aspect about Declan Rice and another DM coming in was providing cover for the back four, right? That's what he does best. That's what he actually did against Scotland. And I don't know why, people were having a go at Declan Rice. He actually defended the back four pretty well to allow Calvin Phillips and the other attackers to go and do their thing, which they didn't do. So in all honesty,
I think the attack Ameya was on Rice is because how slow the build-up was. That's the issue. He gets the ball and he's literally looking around, scanning around to find an option where he has to be. Before the ball even comes to you, you should know where the pass is going. You one hit, bang, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Whereas he gets
Yep.
the ball and he's like stalling.
Yep, I agree. No, I agree about that, which is why I also see, like, if we do get him, then it has to be a back four. Or, you know what, he could also be one of the three centre backs. That's how we were linked with under Lampard as well. A lot of athletic reports came out and said that Lampard sees Declan Rice as a centre back. So I think if we do, want to splash on Rice, then there is absolutely no point sticking him in a midfield pivot like this, because the main job of a midfielder, especially in this lineup, is to progress the ball and is to win the ball back in the right spaces, is to intercept. It's not to provide cover for the back, for the defense, because you have 5 defenders right there to do the defending. You don't need extra cover. Exactly. So I think, in all honesty, if we're sticking with the 3 at the back formation, then the Rice signing doesn't make sense for me. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not saying that we won't go for him, but that's just what I would say. And which is why I would also see Jorginho and Kante as our starting midfielders, especially if we stick with this.
I would even say Declan Rice. I mean, yes, he is linked. He's always linked. But it is very unlikely as well, like this comment here from Faris. I mean, what's your thoughts, Kishan? Talk to me.
I agree with everything you're saying about Jorginho and Kante starting the first game, and even over the course of season getting enough starts. Like, Jorginho will still get his 30 starts or whatever, but I cannot unsee what I saw at the end of the season and say, like, confidently but over the course of the season, Miz, it'd be like one of these papering over cracks ones where Champions League football suited like Jorginho and Kovacic so well, and like the Aston Villa game and the Arsenal game and stuff like that. I don't know if you can just say they were bad games. West Brom, I don't know if you can just say they were bad games, because in the past we've kind of seen this, and it's all good when things are looking rosy. We look absolutely brilliant, but when the going gets tough, I do think there's a bit of this team where I don't know. I do think we need a midfield destroyer. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be Rice. I think it could even be someone else, but someone, maybe even
what
if
about
it's
that
not a destroyer.
What about that Tchouameni guy?
You know what? I was going to say Tchouameni as backup because he's pretty young as well. So I was going to go Jorginho, Kante with Kovacic and Tchouameni as the backups. That's how I was going to go. I'm not saying don't sign a DM like altogether, but in this system, Rice just doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're playing with this and a Rice Kante pivot, then I just don't see it make sense, which is all I wanted to say, really. I think Jorginho, Kante with Kovacic and Tchouameni as the subs, as you can write under later on. That's my opinion.
For me, a Rice Kante in this situation under Thomas Tuchel, who's building up? Who's actually building up? Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean, and that's the thing. See, I'm in between where I think we need someone who's like a destroyer, but at the same time, I feel like we need someone who's like that midfield all-rounder, someone who actually shoots from far and can actually get you goals in a season and stuff. Because you look at it, and if we carry on with Kante, Kova, and like Jorginho,
there's no goals.
Like, in terms of, there's no goals or assists coming from midfield. And we're like Chelsea. We don't need like players who are going to bring, like, I know with the whole control thing, but I really want to see, like, when we're playing against low blocks, one of the reasons that everything has to be tippy-tappy and you got to score goals from like 2 yards is because we can't shoot from far. We don't have someone like, you look at why we lost the FA Cup, and that was all because Leicester had a player like Tielemans who could put one in the top corner from there. Why can't we look for a profile like that where they're just so progressive with everything that they do? I want a centre mid who can thread through balls as well. Like,
is Tchouameni that profile? I mean, we've been linked with him.
I don't know enough about the guy. Maybe Ameya does.
Yeah, I mean, he does play in a pivot for them. I think only towards the end of the season did he start playing the lone DM role, but he usually plays in a pivot with Fofana. Like one of the comments there, he did mention Fofana or Tchouameni. I think they both play in a pivot together. So, but he's the more defensive guy. You know, he's not the one. I mean, he does drive the ball forward well. His passing's decent, but I think he definitely has potential to improve upon the other areas of this game. I mean, he has the defending ability already, and he's pretty decent passing and driving the ball forward. If he can add long shots and stuff like that to his game, I think he would be an excellent signing. He does take a couple of long shots, but they don't usually go in.
Does this guy have a chance, Ameya? Does this guy have a chance?
as much as I would like to say yes, I don't think so. Honestly, I loved Loftus-Cheek. I mean, I literally repped him the entire Sari season. I know everyone liked, Jorginho, Sari, or some people wanted him out, but I used to rep this guy. I used to rep Loftus-Cheek because he had a brilliant season. But I think it's too far now. I think he's too old to, sort of come back into the side and further develop
Yeah.
himself. I think a permanent transfer away would probably be his best option now, because another loan just gives me hope, which I know won't lead to anything, and I don't want that anymore. I just want him to be sold permanently so that I can just get done with it. It's the hope
Miss,
that kills.
one more thing. Miss, one more thing about the whole Rice thing now. I think it's because in Euros, people have not really seen him do anything brilliant, or he just sat there in that defense. But you can't forget that, like, when we were making our team of the seasons and stuff for the Premier League, Declan Rice was a name that came up so much because he had a brilliant season under West Ham, and it wasn't necessarily just the whole defending stuff. I thought, like, even with both feet, his long passing is brilliant. Like, he can pick out a ping with his left foot and stuff. And then you look at, I thought when on the ball, he got a lot better as well. There's times where he'd take the ball and actually run with it, where he'd say that I'm looking at videos of Vieira and Yaya Toure, and I'm trying to get better at that. I remember in the game against Arsenal where they drew 3-3, right at the end, he picked the ball up and went past, I don't know how many players, and he had this shot that Leno had to make a great save from. So I think, like, the whole improvement factor with him is quite high. And if we're to believe what Matt Law says, Thomas Tuchel actually has Declan Rice as a target, where we all thought that, oh, of course, like, Rice came from Frank Lampard, and then when Lampard left, that's gone in the bin.
Isn't it funny that only Matt Law seems to have that? Like, there are no other journalists that are really saying... Like, Matt Law's the one who's been talking about Rudiger. Matt Law's the one who's been talking about Declan Rice. Matt Law's the one who also said Tammy Abraham needs to start a lot more than Kai Havertz.
Miz has a dartboard with Matt Law's face in it every morning before breakfast, and every night before he sleeps, he's throwing these right at him.
I will not forget the day when Matt Law said that Tammy should be starting a lot more than Kai Havertz. That was, I think, off the back of...
But Miz, with that kind of stuff, he's an Aston Villa fan, so, like, he's going to love that.
And look, that was an opinion, fine. Like, it was his opinion, yeah. So it is.
I'm talking about news-wise, he's really reliable, though. You have to say that. If he comes out and he says right now, oh, Hakimi is agreed with Chelsea, we'd all be like, okay, fair enough, this is actually happening. So I think with him saying that Rice is an actual Tuchel target, I do believe it, but I don't think it happens.
Look, I understand what you mean, Kishan, that, I mean, Matt Law is so connected, it is believable. But think about it for a moment, yeah, Kishan? And this goes to me as well. I just find it so difficult from a Thomas Tuchel tactical point of view, the way he builds up, the caliber of sort of defensive midfielders that he's played with, like Julian Weigl and Verratti, and now Jorginho that he was wanting at PSG. Why the sudden fascination all of a sudden from Thomas Tuchel that it's Declan Rice? Like, I would understand if it's seen...
Yeah. He's a young player. You got to remember, he's 22, and he must see. The thing is, with these managers, they can look at players and see, like, okay, I can improve him in this way, and with their analysis. And I think, like, when I look at someone like N'Golo Kante yesterday against Hungary, I can see certain parts of his game that's improved even as a 30-year-old under Tuchel now. Like, he gets the ball and he does a lot of things in one touch now, like a lot quicker. I saw like a bit of Jorginho in him yesterday, and I was actually so surprised because this was the part of his game that I was like, wait. And for France, he seems to be doing these things in like one touch and popping it off and turning and stuff. He turns on the ball so much better in space now. Like, he'll get the ball and like look around, and if there's no one there, move into space, stuff like that. And I think that's all taught by a world-class manager. So I think with this whole, I get that he might not be as progressive for England and stuff, but I think Tuchel must look at him, and he's got the potential to be, yes.
So you're saying that under Thomas Tuchel could be different with Rice. All right, we'll start locking that in. First of all, Phantom of many topics, thank you so much for the super chat. Who we have Ziyech is the only distant shooter. We will start talking about up front. You know how I feel about Ziyech, man. I love him. I'd want to keep him. I'm pretty sure the boys are going to get rid of him. But, this is... Yeah, I would love to have Ziyech. And I want to see a long-range shot from Ziyech. Honestly, I miss that, man. I will not have him leave Chelsea without one of those screamers.
Miss Rudiger is our best distance shooter. Every game without fail, he'll pop one. That's why that's why he's there in the left centre-back position, to take shots.
Nah, absolutely, man. I just noticed Omar is having a mad go at me. Miz, what are Rice's flaws? And tell me they're coachable. Also, don't you remember when Tuchel asked the players which players they would recommend? Look, all right, boys, you know what? Let's lock it in.
Miss. Yeah. One more thing, Miss. Yeah, like with this Rice thing, it's the debate about what we need. Do I necessarily think we get Rice because of the fee and stuff? No. So I wouldn't put him in there because I don't think we will get him. Say we need someone like him, but I don't think it's happening because I can't see us forking out 90 million quid to West Ham for Declan Rice. No.
That's the thing. That's the other factor. I mean, I've got massive doubts that the way we build up Mendy from Mendy to the way the ball sort of circulates around to Thiago Silva, Reece James, Rudiger. You've got the reason why we play Jorginho is because he knows the pass before the ball's gone to him. And I don't think Declan Rice is in that caliber as yet. And it would be detrimental to the team, unless as Omar said, maybe he can get coached. Perhaps he can because he's only 22. So Declan Rice, maybe he can get coached and maybe, he can become that. But then what about Billy Gilmore? Are we not caring about Billy Gilmore after what we saw his performance for Scotland against England? Literally, I've seen a couple of times where he dispossessed Declan Rice. Declan Rice first time touch, and Billy Gilmore just literally dispossessed him. Billy Gilmore went one-on-one against Mason Mount, and Mason, we know how much he's developed. So I don't know. I get what you're saying, Kishan, that we do need something different. I get that. I honestly do. The only different, first of all, Rice, as you guys have all mentioned, the price is gonna kick us out, right? If we're being realistic, Chelsea's not gonna do that right now. That's what most of the journalists are saying as well. The only way I'm gonna start locking this up and let me know what you guys think is. I think, and this is going off what Matisse's channel recently had. Liam Toomey, and he said this may not even be a priority because the priority was the right wing back and the striker. So I'm going that no activity actually even happens unless you guys are thinking maybe a Tchouaméni comes in. Tchouaméni for me is probably the most closest one. So Ameya, what's your thoughts about locking this up?
Honestly, I think Gilmore could probably see a loan this season. I mean, of course, there's still a lot of time to go, but I think I would put Kovacic as the sub for Jorginho and put Tchouaméni as the sub for Kante. Honestly, that's how I would see it.
Yeah, I don't think, because again, when you have those four midfielders, you're still missing that profile, like Ameya is alluding to, and I think Tchouaméni gets you closer towards that side of actually having that profile, because long term I see Billy Gilmore as that Jorginho replacement for sure.
So both you boys are sort of saying Billy most likely on a loan next season. Is that what you're saying, both of you guys?
But again, this is another reason, like change the formation and play with three midfielders, and then all of a sudden, like Billy is in. Like he's got a spot, even maybe as a substitute. And we'll go on to that because like maybe we might. I don't think we've nailed on to just play this. That's the thing. Like I think next season he might be a bit more like go to the 4, go to 3. Like always keep this one because this is massive for us. But I think he might experiment a bit more next season.
Okay. So we're adding someone. Yeah. Billy in this and Tchouaméni in the other one. Is that what you guys are saying?
Oh, well, that's a bit. Yeah.
You know what? Just add Tchouaméni as Kovacic and Tchouaméni for
so
Kante.
that's just 5 of them then, right?
it's 5 of them, but we're not ready to let Gilmore go yet. I mean, he's still in our hearts. So,
you know what? We'll revisit this. We'll revisit this because I don't think we're going to have such a bolstered sort of team, man. I just can't see us have. I mean, we really could. I don't know.
You look at it, and like that would only be really about 2 or 3 signings, because it'd be the wing back. We're not going to get obviously Adama and Hakimi, and then it'd be a midfielder and maybe a striker. But it's the amount that we spend on him.
Kishan, just wait till we go to the top 3 and how stacked we are, and then you're going to look at the whole squad and be like, some of these players have to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Because look how stacked it's becoming. But we'll revisit this. We'll revisit this. But I think so far, Tchouaméni is probably the leading DM. There is shouts for Locatelli. Look, guys, Locatelli is at a fantastic Euro so far. It's not. It's just come out of thin air. It's not going to happen. Locatelli is probably going to be going to Juventus. Generally, some of these Italian players, that's what they do. I think we can safely lock in Mason Mount. He's the hero. He's the hero of the squad.
I would actually put Mount on the other side, the left.
Really?
Probably. Yeah, that's where he's played the entire. That's where he's played this entire time, hasn't he?
Timo, bro. Timo's on the left.
So what about Havertz then?
Well, Havertz on the left.
You cannot leave Havertz out. I would put Mount on the left, Havertz on the right, and Haaland as our striker.
It's either going to be Haaland or Lukaku. Look, I think Haaland is the number one
with
choice.
This one though, yeah, with this one, Miz, I feel like striker is like it's gonna be an outsourced player. We can put that one away.
We can put that one away. That, like,
it improves us.
Like,
it improves us heavily. Whereas like right wing back and stuff, you're like, if we don't get someone, do we get someone else and stuff? This striker is definitely outsourced. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Can we all agree? And live chat as well, guys. We've got 124 people on. Smash the like button. I can't see exactly how many likes we have because I'm doing this at the moment. But please get it to at least 100 likes, guys, and smash the like button right away. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. If you guys are enjoying this is pretty crazy. We're all enjoying it. And follow the lads. Their socials are in the description. Okay. Kishan and also the live chat and Ameya. First, let's agree. There is no way we're moving into next season without out-and-out striker, right? I mean, I don't think it's going to be Timo Werner and Kai Havertz, and Tammy's leaving, Giroud's probably leaving. So can we straight away agree that it's either going to be Haaland or Lukaku? One of them 100% is coming in.
Yep.
Cool. I can see some nods. All right.
But Miz, I wouldn't say 100%. Like we would love for it to be 100% because then we could rest assured that no matter what happens, Haaland or Lukaku is coming. I would love to think it, and it's probably most likely yes, but there could be a situation where one of them don't happen.
You know what? Oh, you're saying there could be a situation where one of them doesn't happen.
Do you not think like?
But then we're not winning the title. We might as well stop screaming.
I know that's the whole point. That's why it's so big for us that we need one of them, or otherwise we're screwed. But
I'm telling you right now, Kishan, if we are not getting either a Haaland or Lukaku, let's stop the stream right now because we are not winning the title.
That's it, and we have to get one of them to like. Trust me, we need someone. I'm just tired of seeing the same faces in attack as well. We need a new striker. You're putting Lukaku on the bench.
We're getting both and we're benching one of them, boys. We're
getting both and we're winning the World Cup. That's what we're doing. So it's either Haaland or Lukaku. I think
you put Havertz behind, right? Havertz behind.
Yeah. Him. If this is how it is, then it's got to have to be Havertz on this side. I think Ameya is right.
I meant Havertz as a backup.
Sorry. Havertz over here. Havertz over here.
Wait, what? How many Havertz you put?
No, Havertz is a backup. Havertz is a startup, and we remove this. This is a mouth. How many Havertz are you doing? How many?
In the wise words of Ms. 11 Havertz will win you the Champions League. Like how Jose Mourinho said, Azpilicueta, Miz says Havertz.
Havertz here, Havertz there, Havertz everywhere.
You could do that with Kante.
You probably could. You honestly could, man. Okay, Haaland Lukaku is 100% striker starting. Havertz as a backup, as an F9. Havertz essentially should start on the right side with his left foot. Mount on the left. Let's now talk about the backups. Kishan, or who wants to go first? I'll go with Ameya. Ameya, who are your backups for Mount and Havertz?
For Mount, it would probably be Werner, I think. You know what? Actually, if you could change the Haaland, Lukaku, and put Werner in place of Havertz as the substitute for the striker, then we could probably fit more people in.
I just don't like Werner, bro. I get what you mean. You just want to fit more players in. I just don't like Werner.
That's what I want to do.
Miz, again, I don't think we can just flat out put Werner. Like, Werner will possibly be. Will he actually be in that position if we sign a striker, though? Like, I don't see the reason why Werner.
He won't, bro.
I think it has to be Havertz then, right?
It has to be Havertz. I can't see how Timo Werner gets an opportunity up front, because that's why we're getting a striker, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
The whole idea of getting a striker is because we don't trust Timo there, and now we want to have Timo. It just doesn't make sense.
Maybe as a third name. Maybe as a third name, like.
Yeah, no third name's getting an opportunity here, bro. That's it.
Yeah,
it's either Haaland or Havertz.
It's gonna be really hard to fit in everyone, because I was actually gonna say Pulisic as a sub for Mount.
That's why you're gonna have to let go.
Miss,
someone's gonna get the chop.
You think Breuer gets in the squad?
Bro, don't. I don't have time for this.
You know what? No,
I don't have time for this. Listen,
in the squad, like
we can't even put my brother Ziyech in, and you're talking about Broha. Like,
yeah, but I'm talking about like 3 minutes over the whole season.
But Broha, good luck. Maybe in another 3 seasons' time. I don't know. Like he probably needs a championship loan next up, or a Premier League loan. I don't think any Premier League teams will probably take him at the moment. Probably a championship loan. Where is he now? Vitesse, right? He's in Vitesse.
Yep.
So look, I mean, Vitesse are not even a championships team, so he probably needs a championship loan next up. No, I'm being honest. I'm not. He's got time. Like we need to relax a little bit with Broha. Honestly, Kishan, I knew you. Just annoy me with these sort of names, bro. All right. What's going on?
I would go Pulisic there, or probably Werner. I'd go Werner. You know what? I'd go Werner.
Bro, it has to be, man, because Thomas Tuchel loves Werner, man. Where are you going here, bro? You better say the right name. Name.
See, bro, if I say the name that you want me to say, then
I think you're saying Ziyech.
Yeah, but what about Pulisic then?
That's the thing, man. I mean, he will have to be. He'll see. And then what about Cho? This is what I was saying the other day. I can't see how this team works out. Like, someone's gonna get chopped.
I think
someone
it has
really
to be
will.
Cho on the right as well. Then, like, as a, you know how we've got him at wing back as well.
Yeah.
Probably
So it'll have to be
Ziyech and Cho.
Can you guys see what's going on? Honestly, can you guys see what's going on? Like, there is not minutes for everyone in this team. There really isn't.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
You know what? We're going to have 60 games next season, right? Especially with
Mount will play 58 of them. Mount will play 58. Like, don't you worry. He will secure that spot.
The whole thing where, but we will have 60 games. And I get, like, there will be a pool of, like, probably 15 players that will get a lot of matches. But you know, someone like Ziyech, you know when you're playing in the important matches, and you know when you're playing in the fillers. So those players are not going to be happy to play those filling kind of games. Like, Ziyech is too good to like. So say on a Saturday you've got like a Premier League game, and then Wednesday you play like a Real Madrid. You play Real Madrid. Everyone's flat out Mount, and then you're playing like Burnley on a Saturday, and you stick Ziyech in. He knows his place. Then it's like I don't see him like.
But you know what, Kishan, what you've just said, that scenario of a Wednesday, Saturday, literally that will be the case next season, literally. And then you throw in Club World Cup on December.
Oh yeah, true. Forgot about. Yeah, no, you know what? Keep all these lot. We need to win that stuff. I've not seen us win that. I'm actually huge on that. We better win that.
Yeah, we better win Club World Cup, man. Honestly, we better. Like, I can't. Last time we didn't. I think it was Palmeiras, right? Last time, or Corinthians?
It was Corinthians.
It was Corinthians. Yeah, man.
Paulinho scored, didn't he?
Yeah. That annoyed me, man. That annoyed me so much, man. Boys,
look how stacked that is.
Look how stacked that team is, man. Look, we've got Haaland or Lukaku. That is a shoo-in. That's happening. Havertz, we want to see a lot more of Havertz. So then, if he's not starting as a striker, he's definitely on the right side because he's been doing a bit of madness for Germany. Mount is just, I don't care what people has to say. He will not be dropped. He simply won't be dropped. And he's the Chelsea's player of the season. He brings so much to the team. And lately, his vision and his, like the eye for assisting is getting much better as well. And then you have, so all of a sudden, Timo Werner becomes a rotational player. Pulisic is already a rotational player, becomes even more of a rotational player. Ziyech doesn't get any game time, and he still probably won't get that much game time next. And then what do you do about Callum Hudson-Odoi? You bring in someone like Hakimi or Adama Traore, which is happening. What literally happens to Callum Hudson-Odoi? Honestly, this is why I tweeted the other day. How is this team going to operate next season where Pulisic, Ziyech, and Cho, they're in massive doubts of getting a lot of time? I'm pretty sure they will get minutes. Don't get me wrong, they will. But are they happy with playing 50% of the time? That is the question. So, Kishan, what's your thoughts, man, of this whole squad?
The thing is, we're already so stacked, and then we add a striker on, and I've always said this, when we didn't have a striker and you had like Havertz floating around, you could still fit in one extra of those sort of attacking mid kind of players or wingers. Thing is, when we get a striker, that position is just nailed on. So someone like Havertz has to then play a 10 position, then creates more competition for like the likes of and you'd possibly put all four in there now. So, all of the substitutes. So, Werner, Pulisic, Ziyech, and Cho. You think
it could end up in something like this, man.
You know what? That's very possible as well.
Because it's Haaland. Like, I feel like Mount will start playing just behind.
That might suit Timo more, like, in terms of the Havertz position as well.
And then you really have the wing backs pushing up.
Yep.
Yeah. That looks good for sure. And then like Billy Gilmore as well is more progressive from there. So like, you could easily see Billy picking the ball up and looking up and trying to ping one. He finds Hakimi. Hakimi crosses it to the other side. Haaland misses it because it's like Hakimi an inch too long.
Through and he crosses it in.
He misses it. Alonso back post.
Alonso. You will not give up on Alonso. You will not give up. But honestly, Kishan, what you just said, that Billy Gilmore situation from here, bro, look at the options up front for him, man. And then you have the machine right next to you. Do you know what I mean? Maybe we keep him more, man. Ameya, maybe we keep him more.
I could see it happening, honestly, especially because Kishan mentioned earlier that Tuchel will probably experiment a lot more this season, as we did see at Dortmund as well. At PSG, I think he had a set of lineup because that was the only way he could fit all the attacking players he had at the time. But at Dortmund, he was so chopping and changing it always. And Hakimi as well at Dortmund, he played as right wing back, left wing back, right winger, left winger. He basically played everywhere. So I think we're going to see a lot of chopping and changing next season, which is why I think 5 midfielders could work. Honestly, because if we do switch to a 3, then we could easily see someone like Tchouaméni, Gilmore and Kante, or Tchouaméni, Gilmore and Kovacic as well. Maybe, we don't know. So I think we could keep all 5, because if we do choose to go 4-3-3, then they would help. I genuinely think we could fit in all 5.
I like this
go
comment.
On the comment. Go on the comment before him after that as well.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm going to get to that. Let's talk about this. Mount is going to play every game. Stop the hype. Ebong, just
good luck.
The stats.
Honestly, it's like good luck with that.
Ebong, honestly, check out the transfer market history as to how many matches Mount has played. the first season for Frank Lampard, and also last season for Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel. And then just let me know whether we are making things up or we are hyping it. This is literally what is happening. He's playing most games, and he's a kind of player that wants to play almost every game. So,
Miz, he is a player you have to back. Like, I don't see why there's any reason to say that kind of stuff, because like he's shown it even in like our worst season. He's the only one that tries that. When the going gets tough, when things are not rosy, he's someone that you want on your team. I don't just get comments like that where he's just won you the Champions League with an assist as well. So like, of course he's going to be in the team. You can sign who you want, yeah. Spend 100 million on a player, and you won't get one as good as Mason Mount.
Bro, all I'm going to say, last season, Timo Werner, Havertz, Ziyech came through, and Mount still became the better player ahead of all of them. And then he was the best player under Frank Lampard when it was all going bellied up, and he was the best player under Thomas Tuchel as well. So I don't know what to say. Like, if you don't like him, you better start liking him. That's all I can say. You're gonna have to like him.
And Miz is at that point now. It's not even like where you're like, oh, if you don't like him, then you can keep your agenda up, because no one, like even the people that hated him at the start, have all turned into people who think, all right, this guy's just won us the Champions League. What more can you say? He's just brilliant.
He's brilliant, bro. You can't diss him. You honestly, you can't. I like this one though. 50% is good. They're lucky to be at Chelsea. Ameya, I like that attitude. If I was the manager, I'd be looking at some of these players and going, if you're gonna cry, get out of here, because we're the champions of Europe. I only want players that want to be part of the unit. And if you don't like it, get out. We're just going to replace you with someone else. Because let's be honest, Ameya, some of these players will get hurt next season. They will not see enough minutes. There will be people say there's approximately 65 to 70 games. I get that. But out of that 65 to 70 games, Mason is playing, let's say, argument's sake. How many did he play last season? 60? I think he got close to 60 last season. Somewhere around 58 or something like that.
Yeah.
So he will once again play in the same caliber. If touchwood, he doesn't get injured or anything like that, he'll play once again 50 plus. Okay, you know what? Let's be conservative and we say he plays 50. So there's already one position locked for a player for 50 games out of 70. So you really have 20 games to give others a chance.
Yeah.
Are they going to be happy? Are they going to be happy with 20 games?
No, which is why you're not going to like what I'm going to say next. But the person on the chopping block, it's going to have to be Ziyech. I'm sorry for saying this. I'm
going to have to remove Ameya from this channel right now.
You know why I'm saying this, don't you? Because I explained it the last time as well. Ziyech is in his prime. He wants those minutes, and he needs those minutes at this point of time.
True.
On the other side, Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi, they're both on the younger side, and I think another couple of years as rotational players until they're fully ready to be those top quality players. I don't think it could hurt their development. Certainly not Pulisic, especially with his injury record. I think a couple of seasons where he's in and out, and then maybe if he's good enough, then he can come out and really be a starter. But honestly, Ziyech seems to be the most logical choice to leave the club if any one of them had to leave, or even Hudson-Odoi on loan. I don't know, but
let's go to the live chat. 121 of you guys listening right now. Are you chopping Ziyech? Yes or no? Quick yes or no. Let's have a look. We'll do a tally up, and then we'll take it from there. And then we'll do a show as well, because I think those are the two situations where
you're gonna find it hard. You're gonna find it hard to count.
I'm worried. In one I'm worried because people are gonna say yes that they want Ziyech to be chopped.
But
I'm not saying I want him gone, because I've said it so many times that he is our only magician. He's the only player you can get you off your seat, that type of player. But logically, I think that makes the most sense.
Ameya, I told Miz as well, and I was saying this is like, how Havertz got certain amount of minutes last season, and then when he wasn't doing well, you'd still give him more minutes because he's your big signing. But I think if Ziyech actually got more minutes, he would have done like a lot better than like relative to how well Havertz was doing. He would have improved himself a lot more. But because of his like status in the squad as well, because you can't really drop like Kai or Werner for long enough, because they're like these long-term signings that will get you places. Ziyech is still like in between, where you've paid
we
the money
got
for
one
him.
Pulisic. We got one Pulisic, Kishan. We got one Pulisic.
He's another one that will get brought into it for sure as well. And
But
like,
so far,
last season, last season when we were thinking about a team, Pulisic was such like bang on, like because he had that great season under Lampard. You think there's no chance that this guy like drops off. But now when you think about our starting lineup, like I don't see Pulisic like close to it. So maybe this suits him. Like everyone's just like not thinking about the guy, and maybe like when he comes on from the bench and stuff, he shows that he's still got it in him, because he definitely has it. But you got to remember the whole fitness issue. Like recently he's been very good, but maybe over the course of a season he might break down. So that's maybe our squad depth gets a bit less if that happens.
No, I have to agree, Kishan. I have to agree. Seems like a landslide, boys. People want Ziyech out. So let's chop a few things out here. We'll go here. Man, it hurts, but it is what it is. The live chat has spoken. Live chat, next one. What are we feeling about Callum? Let me know. Keep in 131 live. Smash the like button, number one. If you guys are enjoying the boys, the Chelsea boys are back. That's what we're doing. We're back. In the description, please check out their socials. Follow them everywhere. As I said, once a week, every Sunday, UK time, 11:30, we're going to be here. We're doing the Chelsea predicted lineup for 2021-22 season. This is what we've come up with so far. We've just chopped Ziyech, not Hakimi. We've chopped Ziyech, his other Moroccan brother, off. So now the question is, what about Callum Hudson-Odoi, ladies and gentlemen? 130. Let me know, what would you like to do about Callum? But yeah, go on, Kishan.
If we get Hakimi, we have to keep Ziyech just to keep everyone happy. Those two have each other. That's one of the reasons we've got to keep him. But I do think, like with Ziyech, we've not seen the best of that. That his party piece coming inside on that left foot, he whips that ball in. Surely, if we've got a striker or maybe a little Alonso at the back post,
you love your Alonso.
It's just like I don't know. I feel like there is a lot more to him, but if there is one that needs to be sacrificed in this particular system that don't suit him, it pretty much has to be him, don't it?
It has to be, bro. I mean, it looks like the live chat has also agreed as well.
We've not even touched on the loan army as well, which does not seem.
See, I told you guys we got to do a different show for the loan army, man. Honestly, that's a different show. But a lot are actually saying to loan out. We've got a couple of here. Preferably keep. We've got loan here from the Red Wolf. XG Ameya is saying keep. We've got keep loan Cho. Keep a loan Cho. So are we keeping or are we loaning? What are we doing?
Because I don't think we're going to sell the guy. So it's just like, give us an option, a proper one.
I think you know what, boys. If Ziyech is going, then I don't think we're going to get Cho out. Someone actually saying loan Cho. I checked Masunda is back now. Let's not. No Masunda talk. We're not having Masunda talk here. Another one of those ones. But yeah, I think now it probably looks pretty all right, ladies and gentlemen, because if we are looking to get rid of one, it'll probably would have been Ziyech. And then after that, I think Cho then still remains, because you can still have a chance in the right wing back position. You can still have a chance up front. I still don't think he'll see enough minutes, but it is what it is. He's not keen to go. There's been talks that Chelsea's open to loaning him, but he doesn't want to go. So what can you do when the player wants to stay? And that's good on him. He wants to stay and he wants to fight. That's good on him. Let's start wrapping things up. Kishan, this squad ready to win the Premier League or what?
Just one quick
go on,
thing.
bro. Go on.
If you could
Conor
just
Gallagher? You want Conor Gallagher in?
No, bro. I'm not even including anyone. I'm just putting Pulisic on the right. I think that would probably be a better option. Werner just below Mount.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Hudson-Odoi being the sole substitute there, So it would probably be Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi there. And then you guys can carry on with your talk.
Do you reckon Pulisic on both, like either side? And
yeah.
And Cho on either side as well, right? Something like that, I suppose.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, Kishan, thoughts? Are we winning? Is it coming home?
That team is ready to bring it home, but I don't know when I'm imagining it, it's like I can't see us winning it this season, and I don't know.
Bro, someone's already said what you're about to
it's-
say. Second at
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll get second. I think we'll be very close, but not quite there. Maybe the season after, yeah.
Who's winning
But
it for you? Who's winning it?
I think City just
Again?
although like yeah,
We've beaten these guys 3 times in a row.
it'd be 2 only because Liverpool won the other one, right? Oh,
No,
you
as in
mean us beating them?
Yeah.
But we can beat, like we said, Biz, we could beat anyone off in one-off games. Like they could easily lose to us in the 2 games, and then their consistency will let them go 15, 16 games unbeaten. And this is why we need a team of like what's been proven. Like every team that wins the Premier League has a midfield destroyer, pretty much. And I still think we would have to get someone.
You reckon we're lacking there? You reckon we're lacking there?
I think we're lacking there. Attack on paper looks brilliant, but I still think we got to find ways to make it like more cohesive and more. And then the Hakimi thing for me is actually huge. Like, if we don't get Hakimi, I'm actually going to be devastated because I bought into this thing massively. Like when it looked like PSG was out of it, we're like, it's done. Just imagine him, the amount of comps I watched. And all of that to go away. One more thing is we've only touched on this formation as well. So like maybe if a 4 comes in, then things are slightly different. But like as of now, we can only assume it will be this.
Yeah. I mean, look, if we go to a 4-2-2-2 or a 4-2-3-1, I mean, the options are endless, but we will just be here streaming for 10 hours. And I'm pretty sure the live chat will just, they'll just literally fall asleep. But I love this from the Bluetooth game. Treble. That's right. The treble's coming with this particular squad. Look, Kishan has said that probably second. Ameya, what's your thoughts?
I don't want to say it, but we can, but I don't know if we will. We have to be in the whereabouts, surely. We have to be in the race for sure. But like how Liverpool, it happened a couple of seasons back. They finished 1 point behind City and then they absolutely dominated the league next season. I can see that happening with us. I can see us missing out on the title this season just by a bit and then absolutely go on and smash the next season with a couple of more players maybe as well to add to our squad. We don't know. So I would say that's what seems most likely, but I would love for us to win the league. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't? And if City win another, they have more Premier League titles than us as well. I think it's equal at the moment. So
I think they have more already, Ameya. I think they're 1 ahead now.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they're on 7 now, and we're on because I think like back in the day they had 2 and they've added 5.
Whereas do they? They had 2 back in the days.
I just mean like Premier League. I don't mean like
Oh yeah, Premier League. Yeah,
just the Premier League. I think it's 5 each.
Yeah.
So we really have to get that.
I slightly disagree in terms of like where we don't have to win. I think like especially if we blow that money on Haaland, like from the board and everything, the target is like you absolutely have to win it. And if you don't, then it's like a massive failure. But I still think we won't get it. And like Tuchel's,
it's such a good point, Kishan. Honestly, that's such a good point. I will be so disappointed that Thomas Tuchel winning the Champions League and doing such a madness in such a short time that our board would not have the balls to go out there and get him what he wants. I just don't want this manager next season to be ticked off. Because the team that he has right now is not really his team. He inherited that. So he should be given every right to add what he wants to add. And if his first choice is Hakimi and Haaland, the club needs to do their level best to get this done. And then if you don't get Hakimi and you're getting him an Adama Traore, which he's also okay with, I suppose, then fine, do that. But you do need to get him a striker. If you can't get him a Haaland, you have to get him a Lukaku. If you can't get either, I don't know if we're challenging for the title.
Like, they'll have conversations together and they'll probably tell him, okay, right, what do you think we need to get you to help you to win this league title? And he'll say, bam, bam, bam. And then if you can't get him that, then it's just like, you can't, I hope they don't get into this part of thinking where they think, okay, just because we've won the Champions League, everything's rosy. Like the board think this, because Tuchel won't think this. He knows, all right, I managed to salvage this situation by winning this, and I came up with a system that suited all of these players. But long term, you will get found out, and no team dominates like that. You need to be like exactly perfect. Because you look at the kind of points tally that City have set, I don't think we're capable of being that consistent yet.
Yeah, that is the big thing, because I think I've seen a particular commentary saying that consistency is going to be so important over the 38 matches, and that's something maybe we're not there yet. We probably progressively work towards. Look, for me, it would be a dream for us to win the Premier League. I think the fan inside me, and I'm pretty sure with both of you guys as well, and the live chat as well, will say that we should be winning it. But I think realistically speaking, we probably make it very entertaining, go as close as possible. I just don't know whether we have someone like City do it again. But then again, they are so consistent. That's the issue. Liverpool is very consistent as well. They're not going to have the crazy season that they had last season. They're not going to have it again. Virgil van Dijk will be back again. They've just added Ibrahim Konate as well. I'm pretty sure Salah, Mane, Firmino, Diego Jota, they'll all kick in. And I'm hearing Liverpool are going to invest. So they are going to bring in players. And Thiago, Alcantara, so he's not going to have a poor season again. He will come goods the second season around. So, look, I just hope that we're not too far behind. I want to be in front of Man United. I can't have another season where we're behind Man United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Man United. If we're behind them, I'll just give up.
Bro, we can't have another top four race. We can't spend all this money on top of like what we spent and be in a top four race. Like, we're done with that. We need to literally be full on compete. We need to be winning this. It's like, I think we'll just fall short, but like in terms of the club's targets and how the players should be drilled on it, it's like this is your all. We have to go out and win this.
100 man. Like, I mean, this is what I mean. I can't handle another top four race.
Miz. Yeah, remember Tuchel saying from day one we will chase Man City and we'll make sure.
That's the thing, bro. Day one, he said it. We're going to be hunting Man City down from day one. Honestly, I feel like this squad is capable to mount. And then this is what the show is about, to mount a title challenge. I think this squad is strong enough to mount a title challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what your thoughts are. This is what we've come up with in the comments. Absolutely, let us know what's going on. We will go back to our normal. I want to bring it back. I'll bring back the screen that we had. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've worked on this, man. This is the screen that we've worked on. We will try and upgrade that a little bit so that we don't have that technical issue again. But guys, if you've enjoyed this, let's get the likes up, guys. Before you go, please, let's get the likes to at least 100 likes. If you've enjoyed this show, the boys, their socials are in the description, so follow that. And once it's all done, in the comment section, I want to hear from each and every one of you guys what your ideal lineup is to win the Premier League next season. Keep it as realistic as possible with the links that we've got. Don't be doing like Locatelli and all of this. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, those are not really realistic unless it happens. Like Sergio Ramos, I can't see how it's happening. I know there's talks about it, but if that's what you want to put in the comments. But boys, that's it pretty much. And are you guys going to be watching the Euros tonight? Kishan, you going to be watching the Euros?
I'm not even too sure who's playing tonight, but I'll have a quick look.
I think it's Italy.
Italy, Wales.
Italy.
I think Italy, Switzerland will probably be a good game.
Italy, Wales, bro.
Italy, Wales. I would normally watch that, but I might be out, so I don't think I will.
Yeah, see, even Ameya doesn't care. He thought it was Italy, Switzerland, where that happened last few days ago, bro.
Now is the race. I mean, we had a 1 week break as well, so I'm looking forward to the F1 race. In all honesty, more than the Euros tonight. Just being honest.
And just like I enjoyed this so much more than speaking about the Euros and like how players have done. It's like, I don't care, man, let that happen. This is like what we care. Even like when in terms of transfers rumor, I'm more invested in transfer rumors than I am with just watching Euros. I rather be on my phone typing Hakimi Chelsea, seeing what's going on.
But just track where Hakimi is. If you could put a tracker on him, just track where he is. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, until next week. See ya.